In every dispensation, season, and time, God will always leave a generation with a witness, who through their lives he will continue to establish his goodwill, purpose, and that which he demands from mankind, per time, per season. In today's video, I am going to enlighten you on the most evil pastors in the world. In a time like this, where moral decadence is eating into the fiber of the society, corruption engulfing the heart of our being, and the love of many is waxing cold, the devil seizes this opportunity to negatively influence many men and women whose calling and purpose is to pastor God's people. They become a wolf in sheep clothing, deceiving many to hell. They, in turn, become prey in the hand of the devil, using the people God puts under their care to carry out their selfish desires. The consequences of their sinister performances are dire, as the innocent hearts, seeking solace and guidance, find themselves ensnared in a labyrinthine web of deception. The light of truth flickers dimly, obscured by the darkness of false prophecies and twisted interpretations of sacred texts. These pastors have become deceptive, and instead of building the congregation, they have become a tool of destruction in the hand of the devil to destroy the church. Watch out for them, because they are on your pulpit day and night proclaiming a God they never encounter. Number 1. The prosperity pastors. When God appoints a man to serve as pastor of his flock, he or she is required to provide pastoral care, spiritual guidance. He or she is to perform actions such as community development, mission and outreach, leadership and management. It is terrible that so many pastors have turned away from preaching the true gospel to preaching affluence, encouraging believers to pursue success and fortune as the main objective of their faith. This may cause people to lose sight of their spiritual development, love for others, and pursuit of God's kingdom. They develop manipulative fundraising strategies in order to gratify their own ambitions, promising believers a multiplied financial return from God in exchange for significant donations to their ministries. This raises the possibility of vulnerable people being used for financial advantage. Some of these prosperity teachings even go so far as to assert that God will grant medical healing to anyone with enough faith or financial support. For individuals who do not receive healing, this may instill false hope and disillusionment, which may cause them to doubt their faith or God's love for them. In addition, they lack financial transparency at the height of their deceit. It is essential for believers to critically examine teachings in light of the entire biblical context and seek to follow a balanced understanding of faith, prosperity, and suffering. Number 2. The autocratic and manipulative pastors. This type of pastors must be avoided, and their church is a center of psychological manipulation. These pastors use emotional tactics, such as guilt-tripping, fear-mongering, or exploiting personal vulnerabilities to gain control over their followers. They might use emotionally charged language or create a sense of dependency on them for spiritual guidance. Watch out for these pastors. They may selectively interpret or take passages out of context to support their own agendas. They might use the Bible as a tool to manipulate and control the beliefs and behaviors of their congregation. On many occasions, these manipulative pastors encourage their followers to distance themselves from friends and family who question their teachings or behavior. By isolating individuals, this pastor can exert greater control over their thoughts and actions. A healthy pastor and church promote open dialogue and transparency and encourage members to grow spiritually while respecting individual autonomy and free will. If you suspect manipulation or abusive behavior in your church, it's crucial to seek support and guidance from trusted individuals or external resources, or leave and find a better place to serve God genuinely. When you start to observe that a pastor discourages his or her flock from socializing with outsiders, especially those who could disagree with or criticize the pastor's beliefs, he might be trying to take control over the members. The pastor can keep control over the information that the members get by isolating them and preventing them from hearing other viewpoints. Members are limited in their ability to access different viewpoints and critical thinking due to this information restriction. They create a system of control that encourages blind devotion and unshakable loyalty in their followers by using these deceptive tactics. Keep in mind that we are in the final days. We must be watchful of such deceptive pastors. Number 3. The empathyless pastors. The absence of true compassion is one of the most important signs of a false preacher or pastor. They put more emphasis on taking advantage of their followers' weaknesses, securing financial support, and creating personal empires than on caring for their followers. They might only put their own interests and financial advantages above aiding those who are in need. Every pastor must possess empathy because it allows them to relate to the issues and feelings of their followers. But bogus pastors frequently show a striking lack of compassion. They blame their member for their misfortunes. People may experience feelings of spiritual isolation and abandonment as a result of this callous attitude. As members of the congregation, it is our duty to be informed and prudent. By doing this, we can encourage a sense of love, support, and community within our religious institutions. Number 4. The anointing-selling pastors. The anointing-selling pastors in recent years have caused ferociously uncontrollable issues in the church. These pastors have used their positions of power to sell various religious artifacts, sacred items, and special prayers in exchange for money. The roots of anointing-selling practices can be traced back to the prosperity gospel. The prosperity gospel, on the other hand, promises material prosperity and success as a result of faithful giving and financial sowing. When these two streams merge, it creates an environment where anointing is seen as a marketable commodity and financial prosperity becomes a sign of spiritual favor. The rise of anointing-selling pastors is also influenced by the allure of financial gain. There are several variables that have contributed to the emergence of pastors who sell anointings. These charismatic preachers are now able to reach a larger audience, taking advantage of the growing influence of televangelism and social media platforms. Many of them solicit financial contributions from their followers in exchange for promises of miraculous cures, wealth, and breakthroughs. Many Christians have been led to these religious dupers by the appeal of quick fixes for life's problems and the hope for a brighter future. It can be quite tempting to take advantage of followers' fragility and faith in order to find miraculous solutions to their problems. As a result, some pastors have made the decision to capitalize on the respect and confidence that their congregations feel for them by turning religion into a business. Genuine spirituality transcends greed and materialism. The focus should be on creating a deeper knowledge of one's beliefs, encouraging empathy, and establishing supportive networks. Genuine spiritual leaders motivate their followers by committing deeds of kindness and social justice. The anointing-selling pastors must be watched out for. Such pastors must be recognized by the congregation and avoided at all costs. Number 5. The show-off pastors. Pastors who are deceptive have strayed from the fundamental purpose of their duty, blatantly displaying their illicit wealth and guiding people in search of true faith astray. Many pastors' original goals have been clouded by the pull of wealth and the opportunity to lead a lavish lifestyle, blurring the distinction between real spiritual instruction and self-serving interests. These false pastors deceive their followers into giving generously by using well-designed sermons that guarantee financial success, miraculous healing, and divine favor in return for monetary contributions, continuing a cycle of exploitation. Their extravagant trips, fancy apparel, wealthy homes, and expensive cars are all paid for by the donations of their duped followers. These show performances not only stand in stark contrast to the modest teachings of the religious leaders they profess to imitate, but they also cast doubt on the sincerity of their motives. A worrying trend that undermines the foundational ideas of spirituality and faith is the rise of false pastors flaunting their wealth. The presence of fake pastors should not deter us from seeking and nurturing our spiritual paths. Let us rise above the darkness they cast and aspire to be genuine, compassionate, and discerning individuals who contribute positively to our communities and the world at large. Only then can we forge a future where authentic spirituality prevails and shines brightly dispelling the shadows of deceit. Thank you for watching to the end. Please help us get this message out to the rest of the world